Okay, here we go. We are officially live. Now, I sent two links. I sent the link to Jeffrey Warfield, and I sent the link to Strong Arm Flix. So I'm just waiting for them to pop on. Hopefully, they got the link and can figure it out. Pretty simple. Uh, but no, I'm excited about today's stream. Very excited. These two, if you're not following Strong Arm Flix or Jeffrey Warfield, you need to, because they dive in deep to stuff, and they especially Jeffrey. I mean, he thinks of himself as Batman. It's just I call him all the time, which is funny. But yeah, like the stuff that he can dig up is very interesting, and he said he's got something for us today. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say about everything. And of course, we've got some topics to talk about that I want to bring up as well. So probably shooting for around an hour, but usually it goes over, but we'll see. Hey, what's going on? Let's see. What's going on, Eric? Always on the live stream. I love it. I love it. Isolation. Okay. Yeah, we are here. The live stream with Ping Pong Flix Fatal J. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Fatal J. After me and him had our live stream, he came to me and said, "Hey man, I'm doing a stream next weekend with Chris Wong." And he said, "I want you to join." And I'm like, "What?" Like, I've never talked to Chris yet. So I was completely down. I said, if you want me, I wasn't like, yes, put me on. I was like, if it's all good. He's like, oh yeah, of course, man. The more the merrier. And then the day of, that's when someone mentioned, oh, you should have Sean on. And then Sean was like, I'll do it. And I was just like, damn. So it was a good time. And it's nice to have the perspective of Sean, because he's in that type of work and everything. He's in the movie, if you will say, the movie business. So it was good to see that. Oh, we got Jeffrey. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hmm. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Don't. Still waiting on Strong Arm to pop up too. When you fix your audio, I'll give you a thumbs up when I can hear you. I appreciate that, Eric. It was a good time. Oh yeah, you got it, man. Thank you for watching my videos and for joining along. No problem at all. Hello. Let's see. Do you have Jeff? Do you have like different headphones or something? Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Here I am. Thanks for joining. When is the Snydercut going to release? Yeah, it might be his mic. Hopefully, he fixes it. When is the Snydercut going to get released? No one knows. A lot of people seem to think HBO Max, which could be a possibility, a high possibility. But a lot of people also say that he's got to do some more additional photography. And then you got the coronavirus, got everyone. So it's just waiting to see what's going to happen. And we just have to follow Victor Koo, because once he gets the go ahead and Zach tells him that they're going to do additional photography, or he shows up, then we'll know. So then we'll know when that's going to go down. We'll dive into that a little bit. Oh wait, Jeff. It says you're muted. I have a response that says.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. Woo!
There we go.
I was worried for a second. I need to hear what Jeff has to say. He has me on edge. Ever since you said something, I don't know.
So how you been doing?
I've been doing good. How are you?
Good. So actually, now something else last minute came up. So let's get this started.
Hey man, I'm ready. I'm still waiting on Strong Arm to pop up, but he hasn't come on yet. So I guess we can just get started, and when he pops up, we'll just join him to the stream. So yeah, what do you have to say, Jeff? Start us off.
Okay, so really, how with this whole coronavirus thing going on, really the comment of HBO Max versus theatrical release has come up again, and people are saying HBO Max is most definitely the route that's gonna go. And really, I still gotta say right now that's still up in the air because we have two major factors, which one has to do with Zack Snyder's character, really about how I think how that the release date was already set in stone for November 17th, aka the third anniversary of Justice League.
Yeah.
And really another factor for that is really that, for those who don't know, on Twitter, news broke out yesterday that Patty Jenkins and Warner Brothers are really having this debate about, basically, Patty Jenkins wants to postpone his Wonder Woman 1984 to August, and Warner Brothers wants to put it on HBO Max. So really, with that debate, it seems like it is still possible for a theatrical run.
Yeah. So you don't think it's going to be on a HBO Max? You think it's going to be in the theaters?
Yes, for those, like I said in my a few videos ago, I did say possible release dates and not release date, where I said April is a possible one, but I also said that another one was also November 17th.
Yeah. I'm trying to see where Strong Arm is right now. I mean, for a while I was saying that I think the perfect situation would be to give it a theater run for a little bit and then plop it on HBO Max, and then maybe like a month or two after that, then put it out to DVDs. I think that's the best way to make the most from it, the most money from it.
So did you see? So I have a question. Did you see the newest AT&T TV commercial?
Yeah, that's one of the topics I wanted to bring up that I have written down. Yes, I saw. I think I saw that today, and I'm like, okay, so they put out this commercial, and okay, hold that thought. We got another one coming in. Strong Arm, what's going on?
Yo, hey. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Okay, now we got everyone.
What's going
on? Yeah, so we just started talking about. Have you seen the new AT&T commercial?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, there.
Wow.
I think it popped out today, right? It came out today, right, Jeff?
Yeah, it came out today.
Don't get my hopes up, man. What was it?
Okay.
It was-
Do you want to tell him or shall I?
I'll just tell him real quickly. It was like, I think it was like a 30-second like teaser or whatever, I guess, for AT&T TV or some shit like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
in short, it just showed a couple different people. They were doing like the voice control, remote control, asking for certain movies, and then it would go to a different actor or celebrity, and then it would say, "Oh, I want to watch this movie. Oh, I want to watch this movie." And then the very last person, he said he wanted to watch Batman versus Superman, and then it cuts off, and it's an AT&T TV commercial, something like that. So I was like,
"Oh, okay."
I mean, dude, I mean, if they're trolling,
You're missing a detail.
Hey, man, I'm telling you,
You're
fellas,
missing a detail.
What am I missing, Jeff? Sorry.
So people have reacted to that, and I'm seeing people not mentioning the biggest part of it, which is the person said, give me a classical, a very classical of the classics. And then it showed, then he said BBS. Now that seems to me show me that really not only are they going back to it, but they are also seeing that people are now starting to really accept that BBS, that BBS is a masterpiece, and also the fact that it was a movie ahead of its time.
Yeah,
man.
See, this is why I got you two on here, because you two dig some shit up. you got Jeffrey. You got Jeffrey digging up all the Snydercut stuff, and then you got Strong Arm digging up Snydercut stuff and Ayer stuff. I'm just like, I remember the one video you put out, Strong Arm, and it was about like Jared Leto, like possibly being in London, like when they were filming Justice League, and I was like, how did he find this shit out? And I went on his Instagram. And I had to scroll back like weeks and weeks and months, and I was like, and I finally found it, and I was like, after 20 minutes, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's a lot of digging, man. It ain't easy, but but back to what you were saying though. I didn't catch that, and I agree with Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? That definitely means that like I suspected, like AT&T is in control of them. And Warner Brothers, obviously, they've been on bullshit. It's been 2 years now. But AT&T, like you guys were both saying at one point, you know what I mean? They see the potential in this. They see the fan base, the outcry. They're in control of them. They bought them, like you were saying on your last episode, for, what'd you say, like 50 billion? I don't know the number.
I think it was around 50 billion.
Right. So there's no feasible reason why, when they see such an outcry for it, and they seen it trend #1, they seen it on 3 different news channels November 17th, and they see that people are just relentless, that there's no way that they're not going to do whatever they can in their own way to get this shit out and released. And the fact that they're saying that it's a class in their own way, they're saying it's a classic now on the commercial. That's definitely they've definitely changed their tune, and I think things are swinging for the better now, for sure.
You all right?
Yeah. And that's what I love about the whole situation now is, if you watch my last video, is AT&T is in complete control. So WB has no say anymore. And that's the beauty of it is, and we all hope that AT&T is on our side, which it looks like they are. And, so AT&T can be like, oh, you guys don't want us to release a movie that's already finished and we need money? We just bought your asses. Yeah, we just bought your asses for $50 billion. You have a movie that has the potential to make $1 billion that's already finished, and we're not going to release that? Come on, you're crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's. Yeah. I just, that's. I don't. Oh, go ahead, Jeffrey.
So really, like, to me, like, there's also something bigger going on, because I've also noticed, like, in Tyler's last video, I commented saying that I found another pattern, and really, when he asked me, like, what's the pattern, and I basically gave him a tease about it, because why not let it be a little theatrical about it?
That's messed up, Jeffrey. That's messed up, man. I can't read cryptic shit. I can't.
So here's how it went. So
Man.
I said that I found the pattern, and I said that I would give him a hint, and that hint was the two words "come together." So, so
You gotta
then
tell us,
here's
man.
really what. So
I'm telling you, this
so-
guy's on a watchtower, man.
so here's what that hint was, and that pattern was I found. Have you noticed that every actor has said that they want to come back? And also, what caught my eye was Amy Adams saying from what
I was
she
just talking about that.
understood, they're going at a new direction. Now, what I found interesting about that was that she said a new direction and not current, they're going in this current direction. Now,
Okay, that's
now what if they are going in this new direction while doing this new and old direction, which I said in Strong Arm Flix's live stream about how I think that the Snydercut is going to kick off this true Infinity and Crisis of Infinite Earth storyline where it had to do with the dark side, because the dark side does travel through the multiverse, which I also really like said a long time ago. And it's still amazed that I still got that right.
I really like that theory too. I remember talking to you about that, Jeffrey. And you could be onto something with that. Like I was telling you then, if that's the case, I'm fucking down for something for that, man.
Listen, I want to say something real quick, right? So Jeffrey does that video talking about the CW Flash multiverse, all that stuff going on. And I watched all of them, and I'm like, okay, I felt like he was reaching a little bit. I was like, it was a great theory, and no, I'm nothing against you at all. It was a great theory, and I was like, man, that's how deep you go. That's how deep you go. So I'm sitting here on the internet one day, and I'm like, I guess I was making a video, and I go on Twitter for 2 seconds, and they're saying Ezra Miller's Flash is in the Flash CW show. I said, what? So I clicked the video and I watch it, and I'm like, holy shit, he was right. I tweeted him right away, and I was like, yo, you were right. He's like, what? That was great. I was like, I don't know how he did it, but
he comes up with some great predictions.
Because if you go back to that video, I was going further beyond where I was talking about Ben 10 and saying that it's technically DC and they could go that, so that means they can technically go that route. But then I realized that they went that route, and not only that, but I also mentioned how but also knowing that I predicted that people wouldn't understand, that people wouldn't remember the citizens wouldn't remember the crisis. I'm actually surprised I even got that right. Like, I actually got the whole ending spot right on the money.
Yeah, you was right on the money on that one, man. And I wanted to go back to something we were talking about a few minutes ago. When we were talking about the actors and Amy Adams recently coming out and talking about that she would like to return. You were talking about the direction. What I want to talk about is have you noticed, like, literally every single one of the main cast members besides Henry Cavill, even Henry Cavill, have said, like, in the last couple of months, damn near, that they love their role in the DCEU. And on top of that, they would love to reprise their role. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Right.
you got to think and sit there and think like AT&T has got to be noticing that not only is this giant outcry for the Snyder Cut, for the original OG DCEU, you know, you've got all the original actors that, despite what critics were saying then, you know, they still love their role. They still want to fucking continue their role, and they're still talking about it to this day positively. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That to me, that means that AT&T, if you know, it just depends on how far they want to go with this. You know what I mean? If the Snyder Cut comes out and like it's a smash success, I can see them bringing back the OG DCEU, like just straight up bringing it back and continuing all of that shit. You know, and I man, that would be amazing. But go ahead.
Yeah, and the person who caught my eye on that, like people were shocked that Ben was talking about the Snyder Cut, but caught my attention was Michael Shannon actually, because I don't know if he has any social media, because as far as I know, like he's very low key on this from what I've heard, he's very low key on everything. And with Michael Shannon coming out and saying that he had a blast doing Man of Steel, and not only that, but also mentioning that he would be back as Zod being Supergirl if Zach did it, that really caught my attention that Zach might be back to also be doing Supergirl, because if you remember years ago, he actually commented on a theory of on that Man of Steel, there was like a open pod and people theorized that was Supergirl. But then Zach came in and said that basically that he wanted to do something more cool, and really like that brings my attention that what if this Man of Steel 2 that people are calling for, even though BBS technically is Man of Steel 2, but let's just say what if Zack Snyder's next movie is Supergirl, and what caused that is also having this far cry, because really, like, if you really want to think about it, like who do you think? Because if you think about it, like what really causes a director to do a movie is passion. And I think the cool idea that Zach wanted to do with Supergirl, he would want to take that movie. Like, he would want to do that movie. And really, I could just see him wanting to do that movie and it being great, because for Sucker Punch, people say that like even people today still don't really get it, because still that movie is way ahead of its time, even in this woke community that we live in. Like, it's still ahead of its time. So yeah, I could really see Zack Snyder directing Supergirl.
Oh, we got a question. Who do you think should be cast as Supergirl?
Oh, that's a good question.
Scarlett Johansson? I like Scarlett Johansson, but I just want her to stay in the MCU. I don't want her to come over.
Yeah, I mean, she's she plays a great character in the MCU, and it's just like, it's kind of too great in a sense. Like, I don't think it would mesh well, you know, bringing that from there into here. I don't think it's a good idea. You know, that's my 2 cents on it.
And something else that I mean, I could say great things about Zack Snyder all day, but his casting,
Yeah.
his casting, is just unbelievable.
Spot on.
There's so much more put behind it. And I
Right.
always go to Aquaman, Jason Momoa, and I'm just like, I was like, I never even thought about that. If
I know.
he said, if you're gonna cast a water god, if you're gonna cast a water god, why wouldn't it be like a Hawaiian type? You know what I mean? Like some people that deal with the water. Like you wouldn't like cast some beach boy with like short blonde hair. Like that just doesn't make much sense.
Exactly.
And I was like, I never
Right.
even thought about that. You would pick like a Polynesian type guy,
like a broham. You know what I'm saying?
And he did it. And Jason Momoa, he didn't have a career before Aquaman. Like everything he had big roles, but it never really panned out well for him.
He had a small cult following of females before Aquaman. You know what I'm saying?
But then he gets the Aquaman role, and that was like a character made for him because it's kind of like himself. Like he played himself.
I agree.
And
that was
that
was a perfect role for him, man. I swear.
And really, if you think about it, like same goes for Ray Porter, because when I heard that he was announced for Darkseid, I was like, really, who's Ray Porter? Like I didn't even know who he was.
He does that too. He brings in these guys. Like a lot of times, he jumpstarts their careers.
Yeah.
Because again, he's not looking at like. He's looking at different shit. He's not looking at like, okay, what top actor can I get? Like if that's
what I love about Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and if Sam Benjamin, we're not 100% sure, but if Sam Benjamin is Green Lantern, again, it's like, who is this guy? What? Great, he's Green Lantern. Like what?
And that's right up his alley. That's why I think that he is, and he just can't say nothing. You know.
Well, he doesn't want to ruin the surprise either. He probably can't say it.
Yeah.
The NDAs are probably gone, but he's just like, I still want to, because I know the movie's going to come out. I don't want to say I am.
Right.
Still wants to.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, and like I said, I mean, even me, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, there's days where I obsess to the point where I'm like, man, I want to know every damn thing about the Snydercut. What happened? Who did what? And then other days I'm like, well, I'm happy that I don't know some shit. So when I do see it, it's a genuine surprise, It's like I'm seeing it. I don't want to know it already, but
And that's the awesome thing about the Snyder Cut is it's so long that even Zach said it. He goes, you think you guys know what's going to happen? He said, you really don't. All right, we got a surprise guest coming in. He wanted to join, so here he comes.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Oh, it's Fatal J.
Hey, Fatal J.
How you doing, man?
Hey.
I had to come on because I saw Jeffrey on. Jeffrey is the man. Jeffrey, man, he like a computer up here, man.
Yeah.
He know all the patterns and all the stuff that's going on, man. I listen closely to Jeffrey, man.
I know.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey pick up on everything, man.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing. Like, I only got to see in math. And
that's surprising.
Hey man, a lot of geniuses, they didn't do well in school. A lot of smart people, they high school or college.
And if you think about it, no, really, I decided to ultimately skip college because I had I was kind of like going through the legwork and then really trying to think on it, and then I was like, really, that college would kind of hold me back, and really, as you can see in the future.
Jeffrey, it wouldn't surprise me. Jeffrey, it wouldn't surprise me if you had a spaceship back there in your room. I'm just saying, man.
After it's all said and done, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I knew this was too smart. He a damn alien.
Oh man, what's going on, Jay?
Man, what do y'all think about? I saw an article today that said more people have seen the Snyder Cut.
Oh, yep. I was about to get to that.
I actually was drunk last night and seen that article when that shit dropped. And I filmed a drunken episode on this, and it's actually scheduled to drop. I shit you not, in an hour from now.
I peeped that. You premiered it. You premiered it. I'm gonna watch that too, man. I don't know why people still thinking it's not coming, bro. It's coming.
man, people, I don't know, man. You know, you can tell people shit till you're blue in the face, and it's just like, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
I
Remember
think it's
we
the
talked
non-believer effect.
Jay, we talked about that guy maybe a couple weeks ago. That was every time you post something on Facebook or Instagram, he comes after you and says like, you know, it's not coming and everything. So I posted another video on there, and he came after me again, and you know, said how we're all Snyder bots and it's not coming. Zach, you know, Zach's horrible, all this and that. So I simply asked him. I tried to be nice this time, and I said, "Hey, what's your favorite DC movie?" I never got a response. So he's trolling, man. He's just trolling.
Yeah. He don't let me alone though. He don't mess with me no more for some reason.
Well, he still messes with me.
See, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm telling you, man, out of all four of us, man, I always run into these. I mean, I run into these people like nonstop. They'll be in my inbox on Twitter. They'll be commenting. I'll be deleting their shit. I actually messaged Subjective Reviews, and I was like, man, I just dropped this last episode, and I got like 10 people on there. One person's like talking about the DCEU ain't shit. Another person talking about Zack Snyder ain't shit. This other motherfucker was like, you ain't shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. People are crazy, man.
Man, you said they're inboxing you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just this one person that was inboxing me, but I got his ass blocked now, you know. But yeah,
I got someone trying to do that to me, and he said that he was just following me to basically call me out, and really, I just immediately blocked him because I'm like, man, I don't have time for this.
Yeah,
like, because really, like, I'm looking at all of his stuff, and it's like all Marvel stuff. And more specifically, all MCU stuff, and I'm like,
yeah.
And let's go back. Let's really talk about the BBS versus his Captain America Civil War, because we kind of touched on that on Strong Arm Flix's stream, and really what I come to find out is they didn't copy the script, but they actually copied the original draft of Batman v Superman because the Russo said that they were rushing it, and they said that in Captain America 3, it was supposed to be this completely different movie where actually MODOK was the original villain, and it had nothing to do with the Civil War concept.
Okay, so who was copying who?
Really, it was Kevin Feige, because he said that because the Russos basically went on this spiel about how they wanted Kevin to allow them to make a movie about challenging the audience, and Kevin Feige was like, no. And then when BBS comes out, he completely did a 180 and said, do Civil War.
Jeffrey don't turn into a full-blown alien. Do y'all hear that?
Yeah, I hear it. Hey, man, I was waiting for someone else to say something because I'm like, I'm not tripping over here. Am I?
Jeffrey, ever since I brought up that spaceship, your alien side is showing. Your voice, it's something with your mic, bro.
Yeah, your mic was doing something crazy. I don't know. Your voice was like,
I
don't know what it was doing.
Try taking it out and plugging it back in.
I thought he was gonna turn into Usis. I thought he was gonna turn into Dark Side or something.
I'm like, damn, we don't wish for Snydercut too much. Dark Side is upon us, my friends. Man, what was you? I didn't hear a lot of what you were saying, Jeffrey. Honestly.
I didn't hear it either because it was sounding good. I just couldn't understand what he was talking about.
Yeah,
it was a little distorted.
It was very distorted.
On
my end, it was. You know?
All I heard was something about.
Are you hearing any white noise?
Yes, it's doing it again, real bad. It might be your internet, Famo. I don't know. Yeah, it's doing something crazy though.
Could be his internet.
Yeah, you know what? You probably got that AT&T. They're probably trying to cut you off right now.
You know what? What's funny? I got AT&T.
No shit.
You better be quiet.
Hey, AT&T, I know you're watching. Just drop the Snydercut and get it over with, please.
Man, please, I second that message.
But see, I didn't know AT&T owned Warner in DC. Yep. I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that even now still.
But you know what's strong on that might work in our favor though.
Oh yeah.
We were just talking about that before you hopped on the live stream.
Let me switch out my headphones real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Right.
But that's what we were just talking about before you hopped on was AT&T owns their ass. And they were talking about this commercial. I haven't seen it, but they told me about it. And it was an AT&T commercial, and on there, I guess they're like flicking through the channels, and it says something near the end about Batman versus Superman and it being a classic.
Dang.
On an AT&T commercial, and something there was another detail, and Jeffrey picked up on it. Forgot what he said though about it, but yeah, and I guess it's new, it's real recent and shit. This commercial.
But bro, ain't it crazy how everything is lining up for this movie? It's like everything is lining up, and I don't know if Zack behind this or what, but this is some dope marketing. If Zack Snyder's behind all this, man, because it's like he dropping breadcrumbs everywhere, bro. You know,
and and another thing is too is like I don't know if you guys be like the way that I do, be paying attention to the Twitter feeds of like WB Shock UK and AT&T. AT&T has been sharing shit a lot on their official Twitter of BVS, of Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They even commented. There was a comment, and what was it? It was like Bugs Bunny or some shit like that. And they got on there. There was, I don't know if it was an intern or if it was somebody important at AT&T, and they got on there and they sent like a blue heart and a winky face, and it was like Rihanna winking. Someone was like, "Release the Snydercut," and they had like a Rihanna gift, and she was like, winked like that, and then smiled.
Really?
I swear, yeah. Jeffrey was talking about it with me on one of the episodes I dropped.
And
damn, this shit's still doing it.
That's because Jeffrey is dark side. I already told y'all.
The watchtower's been corrupted, y'all. He can't get the dark side up out of him.
Okay, I see I see it in the chat. Lily Kumar said, and I think this is what Jeffrey was saying. He said, "Dude, that whole theory about Civil War copying BVS actually makes sense."
Yeah. I mean, something somewhere was definitely leaked, because I remember on Reddit somehow I was seeing before BVS came out on Reddit. I don't know if you guys ever hop on there or not, but
I stay on Reddit, bro.
I got an account. I get on there here and there, nothing crazy, but
bro, I strong on real quick, strong on before you go in, man. Pay attention on Reddit, because I think some of them Hollywood big dudes, they drop scripts and everything on there. Like, I'm a Star Wars head, but I hated the new Star Wars trilogy that came out, bro.
I think everybody did,
that last episode 9, I swear to you, months before that movie even dropped, bro, they dropped the entire script on Reddit. I'm talking about scene for scene. So I'm telling you, man, stick close to Reddit when it comes to Snydercut.
That's partially what I was gonna say. Oh damn, he done dropped out. It must have been his internet. But that's
he'll be back.
He'll be back. But that's what I was saying is like I was just gonna say, I think that dudes beyond there that really got connections or really is somebody that are on Reddit at times, because every time I've seen multiple script leaks and plot leaks and breakdowns and all kinds of shit, even the Birds of Prey plot, other than the fact that at last minute they edited out the dick pics or whatever it was on the diamond, the whole script and plot was leaked to Reddit. It was fucking true.
Bro,
Okay,
Reddit.
and BBS, the same thing. When that happened, it got leaked to there, but that shit got flagged or something because it came down fast before BBS came out. The script leaked from there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think the Russo, if I seen it, the Russo brothers, if they were trying to see it, or if anybody connected to Marvel, a third party that worked for them was trying to see it, somehow they got elements or who had the inspiration from that script in Civil War.
Yeah.
Well, there's I've seen some Reddit posts, a long post that was like, I think in 2016 before Justice League came out, and it was like the original like Zack Snyder movie, like I guess the original Snydercut, and yeah, I mean it sounded awesome. Like I was reading it and it all made, because if there's so many parts in the actual Joss Whedon version that are similar to this script, but there's so much more added into it that I was like, this has to be Zack's movie, and I was just like talking about all these extra scenes that are involved in the movie and everything. I was just like, oh my god! I was like, I want to watch it so bad because it just sounds so good. And then the other day, this dude was commenting on my video, and he said that he saw a rough copy of the Snydercut, and I was like, what do you mean? And he said, I used to work for AT&T. He said in 2016, when AT&T was in the process of like trying to buy WB or something like that. They apparently gave them a rough copy of the Snydercut. It wasn't, he said there was a lot of things that were wrong with it, like the CGI and all that. It wasn't done. There was a lot of green screen work and everything. But then he was talking about there's like a scene with like Green Lantern and Ben Affleck or Batman. He didn't really get into much detail. He said it, but again, it was a really rough copy. And I said, I don't know if I believe you. He goes, I used to work for AT&T. Like, you got to trust me and all this shit. But yeah, so I really need to see this.
I mean,
movie,
I honestly want to believe that, but I know for a fact that the Snydercut, okay, when he back in 2017, this shit, very end of 2017, this movie was probably, I'll say 92% done. And over the last 2 years, the little bit of tweaks of the CGI and whatever, you know what I'm saying, and maybe like, smoothing out the score and shit here and there. Like I don't believe in any way that there was any major like scenes where there's just nothing there and it's just green screen. I never believed that shit because Zach is not, when Zach go, because Zach was still working on this movie after his daughter passed.
Yeah.
And before, for quite some time before they made him step down or whatever they did, fired him, whatever. And you gotta believe, Zack Snyder, he goes in and he's a perfectionist. He wouldn't have stopped if he didn't know that he was like, especially he had to have had an idea like, hey, they're trying to go in a different direction. He was probably trying to get the shit before he stepped down flawless. So I always believed from the get-go that whatever is left, if anything, it isn't much. It ain't nothing that he couldn't handle
on his own.
Stone Quarry. You know what I'm saying?
And Strong on Flix.
In the Stone Quarry. Yeah, go ahead.
Strong on. This how I know you on point. Okay. We all seen the movie Back to the Future, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The first Back to the Future, they
still can't hear you. Sorry.
They completed the entire film, bro, of Back to the Future. The dude that played Marty McFly, we know now, Fox, he wasn't the first Marty McFly. It was another actor.
Oh,
yeah, it was the actor. Have y'all ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Okay,
I've seen that.
Okay. Remember when John Travolta went to the dude to go get the cocaine? The dude with the long hair.
Yeah,
that dude played Marty McFly first. Okay.
Oh, no snap. Okay.
And they filmed the whole entire movie. The movie was done, and then the director was looking at the movie. And he said, "You know what? This dude is not our Marty McFly." So they went back and filmed the whole movie again with Michael J. Fox.
Wow.
So this is what goes to show.
Wow.
With Zack Snyder. I believe the movie was done, bro, completely done. But what the studio did, they was like, you know what? He didn't do that good in numbers with BBS. Let's just get a whole other director and we just do it. That's what they did, bro.
That's exactly what they did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had a bunch of assholes working there at the time. You know, old school suit and tie. I look at numbers and business shit that don't know shit about don't know shit about movies and sure don't know shit about DC entertainment.
Yep.
And they're just like getting on their smartphones and their suit and tie, drinking their coffee, and everybody fucking hates BBS. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, get Johnny in here. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with this? You know what I mean? And you know, you gotta imagine these assholes at a table up in 20 stories high with a suit and tie on, drinking coffee. You know, they don't know. You know, just these talking heads. They don't know what the hell. They didn't know what they were doing. And as proof of this, people try to act like the outcry and the fans, like these assholes. Oh, you're a Snyder bot. All this. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see it. Well, apparently, everybody cared enough that they pushed all these motherfuckers out of Warner Brothers, and now there's only one, if that person, left. Okay, if they didn't care about all the backlash from us, the fans, and everybody from the shit that they pulled, they wouldn't have slowly fired each and every single, to where it's not a single one of them. And if you look at the time frame of how fast they did it, it lines up perfectly with the backlash that was going on at the time. That's that's too much of a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why would they just get rid of every fucking buddy there? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, bro. They got rid of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know they fucked up.
And bro, this is what killing me though. Okay, Zach, he set up the whole thing. Okay, people still love those characters. Gal Gadot. You remember when Gal Gadot first came out? Everybody was like, "No, I don't think she could do it." Remember when Ben Affleck came out? No, I don't think he can do it. Yep. Now people want Ben back. People love Gal. They love Jason Momoa. People looking at Jason Momoa. That's Aquaman. Now they love him. Mm-hmm. Man, Zach saw it, man. He had the vision, bro.
That guy's got it. He's got an eye, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. You know, and some of the people like before, like for example, like Ray Fisher, Gal Gadot, and Jason Momoa. Prior to BVS, the mainstream, for the most part, you didn't know who the hell them people was.
They wasn't doing anything,
and they was just out there and trying, but wouldn't land in the right roles or whatever to blow up. Man, that's another reason why all these actors that work for him, because he takes someone that could be just your average Joe and turns them into a superstar overnight and sees the potential in them that other people don't see. And that's why to this day, anybody that works for him, no one will disrespect that man. They all talk proudly and respectfully about him.
They always say they'll do anything for Zack Snyder.
Anything for that
man. Just think about it. You're exactly right. Gal Gadot, before she was Wonder Woman, I remember she played a small role in Fast and Furious. Did nobody care about her?
Yeah, I realized that was even. I had to go back and watch that. I actually did. I swear, I shit you not. After I seen BVS, I'm like, okay, that Wonder Woman was bad. Who's that? Yeah. Okay, she killed it. I seen it a few times. I'm like, oh, she the shit. I actually went back and watched the Fast and Furious again because I'm like, I thought she was in there, but I wasn't for sure. I'm like, hey, look real. Yeah. She looked familiar, and I'm like, that's her. I didn't even know. You see,
bro. Besides Ben Affleck, bro, Henry Cavill. We didn't know who Henry Cavill was before Superman.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And look at it. Hey, look at him now, though. Look at him now. Yep. And you can argue, either side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? He is a great actor. One could argue that all of his success, he worked for, and that's why. But in my opinion, if it weren't for Zach giving him that major boost and putting him on with that Man of Steel movie, who knows where he'd be today? I don't think he'd be where he is now, because what I'm saying, when my Man of Steel popped off, and then BVS, and even Justice League, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like after that, then he's doing all of a sudden Mission Impossible is offering this man roles. Now that comic book, like movies, people are throwing him roles like for the Witcher. They didn't throw him that shit before all the movies. They threw him after the movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
And the Witcher is dope, man. I just finished that up.
Did you? I've seen a couple of trailers for it. I've seen a few minutes of like the pilot episode, and I haven't had time to sit down. I really want to sit down and go and binge watch that because I've heard a lot of great things about it. It looks dope.
Yeah, man, it's dope, man. Hey, when do y'all think it's dropping? The Snydercut.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a hard
tough
question.
one. Oh man, you know,
I'm gonna put it like this. Do y'all think we getting it this year?
Yeah.
See, now what I'm gonna say is, okay, my honest opinion as of right now, I mean, my mind changes all the time based on shit that comes out, you know.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm thinking, and I hate to say this, but I'm thinking it's not gonna be out this year. I'm thinking it's not gonna be out till early 2021. And the reason why I think that right now is because at first I'm like, okay, we're gonna get the Snyder Cut, they're gonna drop it on a DVD. Then I was like, okay, we're gonna get the Snyder. I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna get Snyder Cut. They're gonna put it on HBO Max, and then all this new shit that's coming out, and seeing all this shit from on the Twitter feed, and following the breadcrumbs, and seeing these commercials and everything lining up, and seeing Zack Snyder himself dropping shit. I'm like, this is definitely gonna be a theatrical release. And then this recent shit that he dropped about possibly doing reshoots. If that man's doing reshoots, you got to figure, check this out. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's only doing a couple of scenes, right? He's gonna bring back what's my man's name he played Morpheus. He was in BVS. He played the Perry White. I can't remember. Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, you know that even if it's for one scene, Lawrence Fishburne is going to be in the Snyder Cut. I don't know. There's rumors that he wasn't able to finish any of his scenes. He wasn't available during the filming of Justice League for some reason. So there's Lawrence Fishburne's definitely got to film something. We know our man Harry Lennox. He's got to come, film his Green Lantern scene. And then he's got shit on there about filming something with Lois Lane, Superman, and Batman. All these actors, they're busy with shit right now. You know what I'm saying? And I know that all of them will be down to come back. But it's like, okay, you got to figure they're working for these studios. They've got to clear their schedule. One actor might not be available till 6 months from now to film that 2-minute scene. Another actor might not be available till a fucking year from now. You know what I'm saying? And the more actors, that's just like 2 or 3 scenarios and actors. Now, depending on how much reshoots, I don't think the movie needs reshoots, but he's a perfectionist. So now, if you're talking just 3 scenes with 3 different actors, you're talking almost 8 months to get their schedule clear to where they can get out together. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's like a big organized thing that's been planned out for a year or 2. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, which I hate to say it because it sucks, man. I don't want to wait that long, but I'm thinking if he's doing this shit, it's gonna be so epic when we get it, though, guys. I'm telling you.
You're right, but shoot, I don't want to wait that freaking long.
I know, and like I said, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have to wait for Victor Koo. Because Victor is going to go. He's going to go to the set to watch these scenes.
Oh,
yeah. So
you know what? Victor is the key, bro.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Also, is they might get in contact with him and be like, "You can't say a word. Don't let anyone know when it is. Don't let anyone know that you're. Don't even tweet out that you got in contact with us." I don't know, but
I think they would tell him to do that too.
Yeah, and who knows?
That's real because Tyler. Remember when Sean was on the show last week? He said he couldn't say certain stuff. Remember?
But also you have to look at it, right, and it goes back to what Joss Whedon did with this movie, which he did a horrible job, obviously, but he reshot a 2-hour movie in 6 months. So this man, Zack Snyder, can do a lot with just a couple extra scenes that he has to. So there's still the possibility of it getting a November release if they want to. Because
I agree with that,
and then it goes back to the newest article that we read earlier today or yesterday was the Screen Rant article where the stunt coordinator said that she knows a bunch of people that have seen the movie.
And that article,
there's a bunch of people that she knows that have seen the movie, and then she even contacted Zach and was like, "Hey, can I check this movie out? And he's like, yeah, whenever you're in LA, come by and I'll show it to you. So it's done. He's just adding little tweaks here or there. So I don't think it's major changes. I just think it's little tweaks here or there. And so, like right now they could release the movie at any minute if they wanted to.
And then you got to think too, this damn virus don't messed a lot of stuff up.
Yeah,
too.
that messed everything
up. And that's another thing too that I was gonna say. If it, and that's why I said I hate to keep beating down that bush, because like I said, like he was saying, they could release that damn thing tomorrow, or most likely at the latest probably in November. But there's also the possibility, like I was saying, that unfortunately that may not come out till early next year, because on top of the shit I was just talking about with the actors, the scheduling and all that, depending on the reshoots.
Yeah.
This virus, man, they're shutting down the theaters. They look at like Fast and Furious 9. They delayed that shit a whole year now.
Wow.
Hey.
Bloodshot with Vin Diesel, that movie would look out cold. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go check it out in theaters, and this virus shit done hit that movie so bad. That movie is tanking.
Yeah,
that movie is taking right now.
My brother told me, he said it was actually good.
Yeah,
he said he wasn't expecting Vin Diesel to come out with a good movie.
you know what I've been thinking about?
I like Vin Diesel though.
I like him too, because he kind of like what they call it, a guilty pleasure. When you watch his movies, you know it's gonna be cheesy, but he bring that action though.
Yeah.
Think about this. I was thinking about this the other day, right? With how we had Endgame came out last year. What was that, April? Right?
Yeah.
Imagine if this same shit happened with that movie, right? And they released that movie, and then like literally the weekend after, they shut everything down, and they said all the movie theaters were done. Like this was a movie that had the potential. I mean, the movie made like over $2 billion. So just imagine a movie of that scale. Like, just imagine being Disney and being like, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do?" Like we spent like $300 million on this movie, and now no one can see it. But with that same point about the Snyder Cut and everything, yes, the coronavirus it's got everyone quarantined. You can't go to the movie theaters, but maybe that also could work into the favor as them saying, "Okay, we need to release something. We have HBO Max coming up, and we weren't going to release the Snyder Cut maybe until November. Or we're going to do a theater run or whatever." But we need, people are inside, and we have the potential of making a lot of money with this. So oh my god,
he could kill. To me, that would be the perfect time to drop it when everybody is quarantined at home, because you could put it on HBO Max. And Tyler, it's just like you told me last week. The haters is going to watch it too. The Snyder Cut haters.
Yeah, they're going to tune in.
The fans, the haters. All the everyone is going to watch this.
Man, the critics are gonna tune in just for the fact that they want to be critical of this shit. Like Zack Snyder does it again with his dark edge and lost me halfway through the movie. Everybody dies. Oh my god, it's so dark.
They're
gonna do it just so they can get another crack at his ass. At the very least, you know what I mean? The haters too. So they're going. But either way, that works in the favor. They don't see it like that.
It's gonna be too late. It's gonna be like, oh, this movie's horrible. Oh, it just made $1 billion. Oh,
thank you for helping.
Oh, damn! I forgot we went to see it 10 times. It was a really bad movie.
But you know what? But Strong Arm, I think it ain't gonna even be that serious with him having to get the whole cast. Because if you look at the back of that slate, it only said he only need Martian Manhunter, Batman, and Superman.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And guess what? Ben Affleck said in that interview at Cinema Blend, he said whatever Zach needs help with, I'm gonna help him.
Ben Affleck's the motherfucking man, because I got so much respect for him. And like in the last year, man, he was already high in my respect factor, but in the last 6 months, man, this dude is, man, everything that he was fighting with going through, I didn't know that shit was going on.
I didn't know that either.
And his alcoholism, and this dude not only got forced into, doing some shit he didn't want to do. They made him film a whole fucking Avengers type level movie 2 times while this man's struggling with his drinking. While he's pissed off because he's like, they done got fired my man Zach. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And then he sees, because he's got the suit on, he knows what the fuck they're making him reshoot, and he's like, gotta be sick to his fucking stomach every day on the set, just like.
And this the strong thing, strong arm. He wanted to play the Bruce Wayne this Zack Snyder set up because the Zack Snyder Bruce Wayne, he was pissed off, he was dark. Bro, he was tired of being the good guy.
Yeah,
bro,
he was.
You had Batman blasting people with AK-47s. That was right up Ben Affleck's alley, bro.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the Josh Whedon Batman, he's saying jokes and being all happy-go-lucky. He said he didn't like that version of Bruce Wayne.
No,
he wanted to play.
Nobody did. No, I don't think any. I don't even think even a critic. I mean, fuck them. But I don't even think there was one critic that was like, well, you know, they praised him in BVS, but they didn't say nothing good nor bad about him in the Justice League movie when that first came out. I don't remember a critic saying shit about good or bad about Ben Affleck when Justice League came out, but I remember specifically when BVS came out, that was the only thing that they was praising about the movie, besides all the shit they were talking, was Ben Affleck did an amazing job as the Dark Knight. I remember reading the shit, you know, his portrayal. They liked his portrayal in BVS. So even the critics realized, which they helped get us into this situation, that Ben Affleck's BVS Batman, you know what I'm saying, was where it was at. That was peak, you know what I'm saying, Batfleck right there.
Well, I read some critics saying that they seemed like Ben was checked out in the Justice League movie, and it didn't really hit me until watching it later on or now, where I'm like, yeah, you could tell he was checked out.
His heart wasn't in it.
Yeah,
you know, and you can't blame him for that. You know, like, I mean, all the shit he was going through and being, you know, because they forced him to come. And honestly, I think that, I mean, Henry Cavill ain't saying nothing, you know, but I think honestly, Henry Cavill was even pissed off that they reshot that movie, because
bro, it didn't look right.
I don't buy that story about he couldn't shave his shit off because I think that flat out he was doing another movie, and that Henry Cavill at that point, he had some pull power by the time Mission Impossible came around. And, you know, they would have done anything for him. If Henry Cavill would have told them, hey, I need to shave this off so I can do this, you know, what can we do? They would have delayed scheduling for 2 months. Hands fucking down. I think Henry Cavill straight up was like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? It just was like, fuck
I'm
you.
keeping the mustache. Freak y'all.
Yeah. You know?
Oh man, I always think about that scene where he punches Steppenwolf while he's flying. It just doesn't look right. Like he just like, there's nothing but it's, oh god, I hate it.
Yeah,
bro, that entire movie didn't look right to me, man. Even the suits, the Superman suit was whack, the Batman suit was whack. The only enjoyment that I got out of the movie, and they should have did the whole movie like that, where the Justice League was fighting Superman, bro. That was the only highlight out of the whole film.
Yeah, and that was a Zack Snyder scene, even though they even reshot Whedon did. What we did see, because the military, you know, like in BVS, how there's the military and Man of Steel and BVS in politics play a big, huge factor in Zack Snyderverse, right? Okay, now you watch Justice League and all them elements are suddenly gone. Okay, and you can see there's this clip where it shows the Flash, right? And it's animated like early pre-viz CGI. And he's running and showing him running while he's fighting the League. And in the background, you see bullets everywhere flying in slow motion. And the Flash is dodging these bullets while getting around Superman while he's attacking him. So that means, and it was more than like one or two, but it was a lot of bullets. So it couldn't have been that one officer we see just shooting off whatever's in his magazine. So the military was definitely there in that scene. And if you know what I'm saying, going ham and, firing off and the League's there because it's fucking Superman. That makes sense. If he's going nuts, what are you going to do? What you going to need to do to stop him? You're going to need the military. You're going to need every damn one of the League members.
Bro, look at the Battle of Smallville. They brought the whole military into Smallville. And Smallville is a small town.
Yep.
Smallville.
That was my shit. Smallville was. And
the Battle of Smallville, I could watch that 1,000,000 times over, bro. I mean, that battle scene was better than the end fight with him and General Zod.
yeah,
Man, I love that, man.
I think I'll take the end battle scene though. Nothing.
Man,
against
I
the
don't know.
Smallville
Tyler, they neck and neck to me, man. I love it.
I just love the flying around and the Dragon Ball Z-esque fighting. And
Oh,
but you know what? I also think about the Smallville scene too. That was pretty good. Going through the cornfield,
Yeah, because the
flying around and
girl,
everything.
I like the girl. The girl,
Yeah.
man. I hope she comes back somewhere.
Listen, what's her name? Laura. Okay, so check this out. I know they won't do this simply because this girl was on Smallville. Her name was Laura Vandervoort or some shit like that. She played Supergirl on Smallville and came in around season like 6 or 7. And she like her looks, everything about her height, from her stature, she was like attractive, good looking. Her hair was like just naturally, and her eyes were like bright blue, blind, and she was like strong. She was stronger than damn Superman. Like she had to teach him some shit. I didn't enjoy that so much at the time when I was watching it. I'm like, come on.
Because she's supposed to be older.
But she was badass though. She was badass in there though. You know what I'm saying? She was and she's still, I don't know how old she is now, probably in her late 30s. But I really enjoyed her portrayal of Supergirl. That's the only likable like version to me that there is, period, besides the comics. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know they won't bring her back because, like I said, it's a TV show. They're not gonna bring an actor from a small TV show onto a movie because they don't want to confuse people and shit like that. But I think that would be tight if Zach, hit her up and was like, okay, we're gonna do a Supergirl movie, da da da. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool.
All right, one last thing before we get off. Did you guys see the Joss Whedon tweet?
Yeah.
I didn't understand what he meant though. What did he mean by that?
I take all that away from it. All I take away from the tweet was the fact that he used the hashtag kind of somewhat.
Did you see what I said?
Did he block you?
I think so.
I wanted to tell Jeffrey too, because so many people got blocked by him. Because I think
somebody else said that too.
There was a lot of people that were getting blocked by him, and I was like, man, I'd wear that as a badge of honor, like to get blocked by him.
Right.
What did he mean with that D word? I didn't know what that D word meant. Derogatory or something.
No one did. Even Chris Wong tried to say it. He's like, I don't even know what that word means.
Nobody knows what that means. He was just being an asshole, man.
Yeah. But the fact that he kind of used the hashtag, I was like, come on, man. Like, you've already been canceled. And, you should just not say anything. Or if you're going to say anything, you should say release the cut. I don't know.
So he was trolling.
See, here's my thing. Like what I said on there, honestly, I didn't go like raw on him. You know what I'm saying? But I told him like flat out, I'm like, listen, you're not doing yourself no favors with this post. You knew when you posted this who you were enticing to get on here. Yeah. I said, either A, you trying to apologize in your own way, or B, you're just trying to be a straight asshole. I said, if you're trying to apologize, you got to go all in or not at all. I said, because this shit right here, I said, you're making a lot of people. You're gonna make a lot of people upset. What's your motive? I said, if you sorry for the yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
that's much better.
If
he's sorry for
just
for
an update.
Go ahead.
So
if he's sorry for the role that he played, he would get on there and you know what I'm saying, and he would at least. I told him you would at least tweet out something if you're sorry for the role that you played in destroying Zack Snyder's Justice League. I said straight up, and then boom! All of a sudden, I'm like, damn, he blocked me fast as hell.
He blocked
but
Jeffrey
you know what?
Too.
If you got to respond in a negative way like that, he knows his movies suck. He knows it sucked.
Now, here's the thing, really. Here's the thing. People who don't really understand, there's a cut of Age of Ultron that really was cut, and according to him, it was also completely different. In fact, there was concept art of a giant Ultron robot that the Avengers are supposed to face for the final battle, and not the meteor. But so yeah, apparently originally that's how it was supposed to go down, but then Disney came in and basically said no, like we can't do that.
I would have took that though because the Age of Ultron sucks. I don't like that movie.
Hey, you know what I think is the funniest thing about all this? There is a Joss Whedon cut of Age of Ultron, and that's why they replaced him after Age of Ultron with the Russo brothers. It wasn't because they just wanted to, for no reason. That he was having heavy studio interference during Age of Ultron. I don't give a damn about him though and his bullshit. But he had heavy studio interference going on during that movie, and he's got a Joss Whedon cut. He's been through this before, and I just find it ironic and fucked up that he reiterated this cycle and fucked Zack the way he did after what was done to him. He should know better than anybody.
Well, that's the thing. When you make these movies for Disney, these directors have no choice. They're telling them what to do. Right. Kevin Feige's in complete control. He's the guy. He's like, you're doing this, film it. And that's just what it is.
But Tyler, you're right. You're right because, and real quick, Jeff, I'm gonna be real fast. I promise. You right. They got to do what the directors say because when it comes to the BVS, the theater version is different from the Ultimate Edition version. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that lets me know because if I would have seen the Ultimate Edition in the theater, bro, my brain would have probably exploded inside my skull, bro. Because I could tell when I was watching the theater version, just something didn't. It seemed like something was missing. Like it was too much. It was too much at one time.
There was a lot missing.
Yeah, but it was too much at one time in a short time. Yeah. But that Ultimate Edition just stretched it out and made the story look beautiful and awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're right, Tyler. They have to listen to what the studios tell them to put into these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And so really, like, let's go continue on to what Fatal J said, because there's actually something that people that not even Marvel fans are paying attention to. And really, that's the fact that Kevin Feige actually got a promotion that really expands from the movies, because he got like some kind of promotion that basically has him in full control of everything now, like including comics. So meaning like, for example, that new Warriors comic that they're doing right now, like that means that he greenlit that. He gave him the okay, and I'm like, bruh.
To give me a reason to hate you even more.
Bro, Marvel is done. Marvel is done.
And look at, I think AT&T is. And look at, man, I think AT&T is unlike Warner Brothers. They are noticing, hey, that Marvel went hard for X amount of years. They did their big shebang. They done burned their damn selves out now, and everything they got coming on this next slate ain't shit looking too hot. Even in their comic department. Even in their animated film universe, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? They got the Snydercut, and this bitch is already done. They've got fire in their hands, hot fire, and it's up to them when and where. And I think they're just choosing, like I think like smartly, like when are we gonna drop this? When is the ultimate best time to drop this? You know what I'm saying?
Because Shogun, you're right. Marvel has no heat at all. When you look at the movies coming out, look, I know Black Widow will be a dope movie. I know that.
Yeah,
but I'm still not excited about it though.
Yeah,
right.
I seen the trailer for it, and honestly, the trailer wasn't bad. But at the same time, the trailer didn't make me go, wow. I'm going to see that right away. I seen it and I was like,
because my reaction to it, because my reaction to it was like, ooh, too bad that, like, my reaction initially was it's a cool movie. It looks like don't get me wrong, it looks like a cool movie, but it's the wrong time. Like, people have been clamoring for Widow movie
Black
ever
Widow movie
since
forever.
Iron Man 2, and really like you get a movie. And if I'm Scarlett Johansson, I'm mad. Like I get a movie after I die. Like come on.
Well, listen,
But you know what? They're gonna bring her back though.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a twist. Like, oh, it was actually the twin that died, and here's the real Black Widow. Like to me, that sounds like a cop out. Like that's ultimately a cop out.
Well, watch this. Here's what's gonna happen: is right now they just had their big movie. They had their big end game. That was that. I mean, that was their big movie. It's over with. They're done.
Yeah.
Now they're trying all this. They're trying all this new stuff. They're trying to build like a new universe, a new story, if you will.
Yeah.
If that starts to fail, they're bringing everyone back. They're contacting Robert Downey. They're like, we got to do something here, guys. But watch this shit. You know that Black Widow is going to make $1 billion. Watch Black Widow make $1 billion. If that movie makes $1 billion, I'm never going to watch another movie in my life. Because I'll be like, huh? What?
Tyler, you own the something, bro. You own the something. People not excited about this one, bro.
No, because they
like the thing that was kind of weird with me. Like for
Dark
me,
like
you was my personal theater experience with Endgame. Like this was actually, it was like the weirdest thing. Like it was like the most quietest theater I've ever been in. Like here's the thing that really shocked me when Mjolnir, when Captain America picked up Mjolnir, I swear to you, this is day two of the release of Avengers Endgame. And this is the first viewing of the first screening of that day. So when that scene happened, like I'm shocked no one made a sound. Like to me that was like very shocking to me because it really, like I keep hearing that people have cried like 5 times, like when those reviews first came on. Like to me, it's that really said to me that maybe some of those early reviews are really overhyped. Like,
it is. Critics shill for one reason or the other, like a motherfucker for Disney Marvel shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just to the point where it's like, I watch Marvel movies. I enjoy them. But at the end of the day, when I walk out of the theater, I don't gain nor lose anything from seeing them. And unless I go back and watch them 4 or 5 times, I barely remember a fucking thing that took place in the movie. When you watch DC movies, you feel some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel some shit. When you watched The Dark Knight, you seen Heath Ledger, and you seen Christian Bale, and he's like, I'm going to make this pencil disappear. And he hits that dude over there. Like, they have their funny, dark, humorous moments. There's parts that tug at your heart. There's action scenes, and and they're just like, you feel that shit when you watch scenes. The score is always eerie with DC,
right.
And you remember, like you remember.
Yeah, because
you don't get that from Marvel movies, and I think that is what Martin Scorsese was getting at. They're like a carnival ride. You know what I'm saying?
When you hear, I've said this before. I mean, me, like music is so much for a movie. Score, I mean, it does so much for a movie.
Yes.
You take, again, we keep on throwing all this shade at the Avengers. When you take the Avengers theme song, it is so corny. It's not. And then like you think about the Hans Zimmer scores that have been done for Dark Knight and Man of Steel, BVS,
right.
and even the most recent Joker. Like the scores were just like, oh man, like they really get you like emotionally involved.
Yeah, they get you.
Here's like the thing that I love. Like this is what makes Ben Affleck's Batman theme my favorite Batman theme, because if you listen to it closely, like the buildup is like it's like if I can explain it, it's like a man screaming because it goes like ah! like a a torturous soul is coming for revenge.
Yeah,
and he's coming for you.
And it's heavy on the drums too.
Right.
Yeah,
but it's just that beginning part, like a reaper coming to get you.
Yeah,
and then he strikes.
I think Fatal J's starting to sweat over there. We're talking a lot of shit about the Avengers. I think that's his favorite movie.
No, man, it's just. But I was listening.
Man, you guys are awesome.
No, I was soaking it all in, but it's like you right, Tyler. Marvel has blew their load. Robert Downey Jr. when he steps out of the MCU and does a movie, it tanked. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Robert Downey Jr., he charges a lot to be in movies. So guess what that did?
Highest paid out of all comic book movie actors.
But look what that did to his stock. That made his stock go down with that movie tanking. So you know what? I think at the end of the day, you're right. They're gonna have to get that cash back. Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr.
Here's the thing, really. Robert Downey Jr. actually said that he's ready to return as Iron Man.
I believe
dude, why did you kill him if you're gonna bring him back?
Kevin, bring me back. Kevin, please bring me back.
That's gotta be the stupidest shit to me. The way that they killed him and they tried to, I don't know why it didn't settle right with me. I actually enjoyed Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Iron Man 1 was brilliant. I didn't like the other ones. And the first one was brilliant.
The first one was dope. 2 and 3, trash.
I actually enjoyed him, and just something about the way they executed him dying and his little "I am Iron Man" and
that was
something about it. I don't know if I don't want to necessarily say it was. I don't know. Just it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when they killed them off.
Really,
and,
like if I
and now
were
they're trying to walk that shit back.
Because really, like, here's how I would have killed Iron Man. Like, I would have done it in a way where it was kind of. I'm not even gonna mention BBS, but I would have done it in a way where it was like Infinity War. Like when he was getting beat down, I would have done it there. I would have done it something like that. Like you're hoping that Iron Man does win in the end, but then he fights until his last breath, and then he dies. And really, like, that would have been emotional. But when he died in the theaters, I literally said to myself, like, I didn't know that he died until they showed the funeral scene, because I thought he was just because the way that they executed the death, they executed it like he was just knocked out to me, because all I saw was like a few bit of wounds, but nothing fatal. But then when they showed the funeral scene, I'm like, wait, what? He's actually dead? Like,
that's the funny thing, right? Is what was like the one gripe with Marvel movies for so long is, they don't kill anyone off, or if they do, they bring them back. So Marvel, Kevin Feige was like, oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna kill them
off.
we're gonna kill everyone off. But wait, they're gonna come back.
Right.
Don't worry.
That is and that right there, that you know, that's where they separate the two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like with Superman, you know what I'm saying? Superman gets a free pass because his whole, that death and rebirth arc, the death of Superman, that was one of the greatest Superman arcs ever. And Zach was drawing heavy inspiration, and he's a fucking alien. Like, it makes sense. Yeah. But Iron Man, he's a regular human. How are you going to bring this motherfucker back to life? How? And whatever bullshit they come up with, it is not going to sit right. It's going to be some. We took some DNA and some blood. Like you ever seen the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show? They're gonna after they killed Agent Coulson on Avengers 1.
Yeah,
he didn't even stay fucking dead. The movie came out. They dropped Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They dropped Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and this dude is in the first episode, and he wakes up with a big scar, and he's alive, and he's like, "How am I alive?" And the whole fucking season is him figuring out why the fuck he's back to life, and it was some extra shit. They took
What?
like a
now
dead
I don't
alien from the first movie, from the invasion. Supposedly, they took one of the like dead alien bodies that were slaughtered. The Avengers were fighting, took DNA, stem cell shit and blood from them, and injected it into Coulson, and somehow that's some crazy shit, man. They be doing the most.
Now I don't watch the live action. Now I don't watch the live action Marvel's live action TV shows that Marvel does because they ultimately don't interest me. But this is like completely new to me. So I'm like, wait, what? Like he's actually alive?
Yeah. You know,
the only dope Marvel shows was the ones on Netflix. Yeah. Like Jessica Jones and Daredevil and all them joints.
Yeah, yep. On Netflix, and I don't think that Marvel, Disney,
they're
Marvel
gonna downgrade them.
I don't think they. I think they're really kind of hands off in the Netflix with the Netflix series, and they kind of let the people do their thing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because how they gonna be able to promote that on Disney Plus if Disney Plus supposed to be kiddie and fun?
Right.
You know? Because the Marvel Netflix shows are dark, bro. They be cussing, they be having sex on there. You know?
Like
Luke Cage. That's what it was. That's his, I believe his name's Luke Cage. And the Iron Fist one, it wasn't that good. But
that Iron Fist was trash.
It wasn't that good, man. I really wanted. I wanted it to be good so bad because I like the Iron Fist stories and storyline and the comics and shit like that. I was like, man, this got a lot of potential. Like, so to have some real legit kung fu type Marvel based shit. I'm like, let's see what they could really. And it's darker. But they flubbed it all up, though.
All right, I'm going to ask one more question because we're going on an hour and a half. I'm going to ask you guys one more question. Do you think Zach is coming back to finish his arc?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
I would
to finish the entire arc.
Yeah,
I would say really yes, because really it would let's just say. Like, even if they do, like, let's say that it is successful, which it definitely will be. Like, let's say that the Snydercut does come out, and really it does have like this full complete arc, and really I think it might have actually happened already, because really it has to do with the fact that Wonder Woman 1984, the Matt Reeves Batman trilogy, which I will say is confirmed by Matt Reeves himself to be its actual own thing, like not connected to the DCEU. And also The Flash is all produced by Stone Quarry. Now, it's like this. Like, why would you want to distance yourself from Zack Snyder, but at the same time you're using his production studio? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like really you're using his production studio, yet you're doing you're using his production studio. Like, to me, that's basically the green light that it's confirmed that Zach is already back.
Yeah.
This is mine, and I'm gonna be real quick with it. No, I don't think. I think this movie right here is gonna be the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This is gonna be the closure. I do think, though, when the movie does good, Zack Snyder will play the Christopher Nolan route. You know, when Christopher Nolan helped him with Man of Steel with the writing, he co-wrote.
Yeah.
I think Zack Snyder will play that role with the new DCEU.
Okay.
So he'll kind of be like the advisor, help write. He'll be the background guy. Okay. But I don't think they want to move forward with Zack Snyder anymore. From what I've been reading, Warner Brothers DC, they don't want nothing to do with Zack Snyder.
We don't know backstage. We don't know backstage. Just saying.
But the thing about it, the thing about it is, this monster with this Snyder Cut movement is a monster now. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. So they know it's money in it.
Basically,
they
we're
know.
basically Godzilla.
It's like Godzilla, bro. You see it coming. It ain't nothing you can do about it. So you might as well join the team, make some money off of it, and keep it moving.
Right.
But also, as you have to think about what I said more recently is that AT&T now has complete control. And I threw out this idea.
I know that for years.
Yeah, I threw out the idea of WB wanting to continue with this new DCEU direction without Zack Snyder, but AT&T is like, well, we want Zack Snyder. So maybe AT&T is like, okay, well, we'll finish Zack's version over here on HBO Max or with our Warner Media company, and then you guys can continue on with a new Batman, a new Superman, and do your thing over here. And Warner Brothers can't do anything. They can say, we don't want Zack back. But AT&T can be like, well, it doesn't matter. We want him back. You have to do what we say.
I keep forgetting about AT&T.
Hold up. Like he could, like a light bulb really popped up out of my head immediately. So Jim Lee is head of DC, right? Like as far as we know, that's what we got. Like he's now head of everything DC. He like as far as we have that factor of him not saying that the Snyder Cut won't come out, and really Sean, even though Sean has this whole we spoke off the record thing, I even count that as evidence too, because that basically confirms it that the Snyder Cut is coming, because really, like, even at the journalists, like, nothing is ever off the record. Like, they eventually come out. Like, we live in the age of the internet. So with that out of the way, so Jim Lee being head of DC now, and Zack Snyder posting on Vero a while ago, introducing him on Vero, saying that Jim Lee is the best. Now, as far as I know, Jim Lee has not ever posted on Vero. What if, my theory is, what if Jim Lee will post something on Vero himself, and really that will be something ambiguous. And then next week comes around, Wednesday, BVS Day, we get something from Zach, and that's really something that will probably be something that is definitely going to be Snyder related, and really like I noticed this pattern also where Tyler said that Zach posts on Tuesdays. I've noticed a different pattern where he is now posting on special days. And with BVS being essentially about death, what if the BVS Day that's the official quote death day of the current DCEU, and then when the Snyder Cut comes out, which is about rebirth, the Zack Snyder's DCEU is quote reborn.
There you go, Jeff. That's why I brought you on. I'm stuck in the rabbit hole and I can't get out. What you got, Strong Arm, you got anything to say before we get off here?
Yeah. What's I gonna say? Oh, first thing is about the last thing you were saying about the Snyder Cut. I think that it depends. It just depends on when the Snyder Cut's released.
November 17th.
Do they make him cut out the end of the scene from the end of the movie that would lead into another movie? Because you know that it doesn't. The movie don't just end. And you know what I'm saying? The movie ends for a setup for the next one to go to take the fight to Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which we may or may not ever get. So my thing is, if they make him cut that out and you know what I'm saying, then okay, and the movie comes out, then probably chances are when we see it, if we don't see, we know, we can tell that something's missing from the end. That's probably all we're gonna get. Now, if they leave that scene in there, the way that he filmed it, and they release the movie, and say this movie does some crazy ass numbers, say it hits 900, almost a billion. Yeah. If it does numbers like that, in my mind, there's no way they're not bringing him back to wrap up that fucking arc.
Yep.
You know.
Now,
that's my 2 cents on it.
Go ahead, Jeff. Finish this up.
Okay, and really like one more thing with what Strawman Flix says, like that is very true. And another thing that I also believe that might happen is we might get the Ayer cut this August because really
I like Ayer cut news. I love Ayer cut news.
Because
let us know why it might drop in August. My antennas went up, bro.
Okay. So here's why I think the Ayer cut will be on August. And that has to do with the fact that the Ayer cut news very recently has been completely aggressive, like the Snydercut news, like we're finding new stuff very recently, and that's really like a Snydercut thing. Now here's why I think that the Ayer cut will be released in August, because I think it was like a week ago that David Ayer on Instagram, in his Instagram story, basically had him showing the Warner Brothers water tower. And really, if you're expecting anything else,
I remember that.
That's it. There's nothing. There's literally nothing else. So really, here's what I think. Since the Ayer cut is a direct tie-in to the Snydercut, we will first get the Ayer cut and then get the Snydercut.
Nice. I like that.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot too. Yeah. I love me some Ayer cut news.
All right, guys. Well, we've been going almost an hour and 40 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, so I appreciate everyone coming on. I appreciate you, Strongarm. I appreciate Jeffrey, and then special guest Fatal J. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
So yeah, we're just gonna close it out. I'll see you guys Monday.
All right.
See you Monday.